Look at, we're like every spectrum of the color chart.
That is true. Oh, trying to get me out of the camera now?
Well, let's see. There we go. We got to get Jimmy in. Somehow he thinks that it's his channel now.
No.
It's called Let's Get Fit with Sandy. Anyway, we were tagged by Mary Gets Fit. I'm going to leave a link to Mary Gets Fit's channel. So I am going to tag Joan's Pointed Plate and Frekifitwolf and Valerie Reese.
And I am going to tag Kim from A Girl on Her Phone and Mr. Smooth.
There we go. Okay, number 1. Are you a good cook?
I would say yes. You don't like my eggs. But,
I don't like your eggs.
But yeah,
I think I'm a very good cook.
I don't cook that much, so it's not like I can if I have to.
My worst meal is my meatloaf. So whenever we have meatloaf, Jim makes meatloaf,
your
and I make
worst
the scalloped
meal
potatoes.
is your homemade pizza.
No, Jim got my homemade pizza. He got sick one time, and it had nothing to do with the pizza because he was the only one that got sick, and everybody else that ate the pizza was perfectly fine. So he ate something somewhere else, and he got sick.
But it's one of them things, you know.
It's one of those things. Once you eat it, you don't eat it again.
Like you could probably pull it out of the oven, and I'd be like, oh, I'm going.
See, and I don't think my pizza's that bad. I think by the time you put all that money into a homemade pizza, you're just cheaper to just go to the pizza parlor. Really, because it's like by the time you buy, unless you make your own dough and all that. But I don't do any of that. But I think one of my exceptional skills are that I'm a perfect timer as far as getting everything coordinated to get onto the counter when we have our family dinner, because we like buffet
Everything
style.
is hot at the same time.
Everything is hot at the same time. There's nothing that's a little lukewarm or cool. Everything is perfectly the same temperature. I pride myself on that. Number 2, are you a hoarder?
No.
Now, I don't consider myself a hoarder, but I also know that I have a hard time throwing things away.
My biggest thing is I'm like, I haven't used this, and I'll throw it out. And then, of course, a week later, it's like, I need that. But I am the opposite. Like, Samantha is a hoarder. She keeps stuff like, I'm like, why don't we throw this away? You have not used this, and like, since I've known you, you have not used this.
Yeah, but see, I always have that thought that I just might need it in that. I have an alarm clock that I finally threw away after probably a good 6 weeks. That we had lost our power one time, and then when the power, which we lose our power a lot, and then when the power came back on, the clock didn't work right. But I got it to. It was one of these things where you couldn't just like push the buttons to set it. You had to have a pencil to hold it a certain way, which is a sign that it's ready to go. You know. But you have to angle the pencil just a certain way and hold it down and all. And I did it. I did it perfect. I got it all. But every night at midnight, the alarm clock went off. Which I'm up anyhow, so that's not a problem. But I'm sitting in a chair probably about 7 or 8 feet away from it. So every night at midnight, I'd forget that the damn thing was going to go off, and then it would I have to get up and turn it off. And I bought another clock, and I put it right next to that clock because I didn't want to throw that clock away. But eventually, I just threw it away. Have you seen how many
clocks are around here? It's not shocking.
No, it was just, and I had that one for the longest time, but I threw that away. But like I said, I'm not a hoarder, but I don't like throwing things away.
Yeah.
Are you more likely to avoid conflict?
No. Not. I will give it like a quick little, I'll try not to, whatever. Then it's game on.
See, now I think I try to avoid conflict. I raised my children to be very strong in their beliefs and don't take any guff from anyone. I didn't say guff though, but I don't take any guff from anybody. Stand your ground.
Yep.
But I also told them that you have to have a compassionate side.
I have a compassionate side.
But sometimes you just got to see, is it really worth all of that battle?
Yeah, and my brain doesn't go that far ahead.
And I can tell you that not one of my children picked up on that part of it. They just got the assertiveness.
Yes, we did.
but not the rest of it. So
no.
I don't know where they got that from. And then their dad will do anything to avoid conflict. He really doesn't do anything to entice conflict, and it's like, okay, fine, whatever. What he used to do was drive me crazy, and I thought it was so rude. But when his brother, who's passed away now, but when his brother would call, and he'd get on a loop, and he'd start telling you the conversation again, and then Jim would say, you know, you've already told me that. I'm going to hang up now. Goodbye. And he'd hang up on him. And then Tom would call back and say, you know, I think we got disconnected. And Jim would say, yeah, we did. Watch, it's going to happen again. Hang up on him again. It's like, anyway. But, you know, he did tell him that he was going to hang up before he hung up.
He did. He was
so
honest.
It wasn't like he just hung up. Can you close your eyes and raise your eyebrows? Yeah, why is that so hard?
Did I do it? I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I did it, I think. Did I do it?
Yeah. You don't have to do the thing with your mouth, but yeah.
Well, maybe that's the only way. Maybe that's the only way I can do it. Let me see if I can do it without doing it with my mouth. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, see?
And also, can you touch your tongue to your nose?
No.
No, I can't. No. Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
No. I think that you have an attraction at first sight, but I don't believe in love at first sight. Because I think that most people like somebody at the beginning, but then they see all of their qualities and then they kind of go off to the side.
Yeah,
But how can you love somebody and then accept their qualities right away? I think you got to build into that relationship.
I can see both ways.
You know, I think that you can like somebody at the beginning and then you can see their faults, but still learn to like them a little bit
no one
more.
will ever see any of my faults.
No, that's true. Jimmy doesn't have any faults.
No faults.
No faults. Samantha, do you believe that? No. Do you see a glass as half empty or half full?
I see it as half full.
I see it as half full. I really do, because I think that, you know, there's always opportunities to better your life. There really is.
Yep.
You know, everybody has their struggles and everybody,
That is true.
you know, and I think that if you look at everything as half empty, then it's kind of a sad life.
See, that's Samantha will say to me, she's like, I'm glad you're like that, because she's not. And she's like, I don't know how it's going to work out, because if it doesn't, nothing you can do to change it.
That's true.
I mean, there are some things.
Some things, I know.
But for the most part, if it's something you're hoping goes one way, if it doesn't go that way, there's nothing you could have done about it anyway. So
True. Do you sleep with the lights on or off, or do you use a nightlight?
No, it has to be pitch black.
I only have a nightlight when I have company staying over, and I have a nightlight in my bathroom just so they can find their way to the bathroom. I have a nightlight in their bedroom where they're at, just in case they're not familiar with the surroundings, but it's got a switch that they can turn it off and on.
Yeah.
But I think between your clocks and everything else, you got nightlights everywhere. Yeah. Even my smoke alarm in the hallway has got like a little nightlight on it.
Yeah.
So, but I don't care if it's really dark or really light, but I don't like it really quiet. I can't.
I gotta have a fan going.
Well, I don't have to have a fan going, but I have to have some kind of a background noise. And then the problem with that is Jim goes to bed earlier than me, but then I have the noise of his snoring to kind of lure me into
See,
going
I can't,
to sleep.
snoring, I can't, if she starts snoring,
No,
I'll give it a little.
No, because he's got like a pattern, and then it's just kind of like a sound machine, and it's just, he's not obnoxious with his snoring, It's just like a little bit of a snore.
No, it's gotta be quiet and dark.
No.
Except for the fan.
My favorite thing is which I do, I know I don't snore. Jim says I don't snore as much since I lost weight, but I still snore. I think everybody snores to a certain degree. But I like when you snore and you wake yourself up. And you go, what was that? You know?
I like Samantha will do like where she, like I say, what are you eating over there? Like just a Joe show.
She's eating something good in that dream. Did you ever wear a uniform to school?
Yes.
Yes.
Every day till 8th grade.
Yeah, Catholic school, you got to wear a uniform. But even when
green corduroys with the green corduroy tie.
Well, it didn't always have to be a green corduroy. You had a regular tie too that was green. He had to wear a green tie.
Yeah.
You know what?
Green.
Well, I was on the mom and dad's council, and I had the two boys going to Catholic school, and there was two other women that were on the council with me, and they had girls, and they were always complaining about the fact that the girls had to wear a uniform, but at that time all the boys had to do was wear a tie.
Right.
They could wear any color shirt, they could wear any color pants, they could wear any color shoes, But the girls had to wear a certain uniform with a white blouse, and they had to have black shoes.
Yes.
And so they were all complaining. So we went to JCPenney's as a committee, and we talked JCPenney's into, because the school colors are green and white,
Yeah.
into ordering like green twill pants, green jeans, green corduroys, white shirts, and then all different kinds of green ties. And we made it mandatory that the boys had to wear that too. And oh my gosh, there was like a riot of all the boys' parents that didn't have girls that were complaining. And I'm thinking, you know, what goes around? I have a girl that's, at the time we were thinking we were going to still live there. I says, I have a girl coming up that's going to have to wear a uniform. Right. I have 2 boys. I'm going to put them in the uniform.
Yeah. And then we had to wear those brown docksiders.
Yeah, brown shoes. They had to wear brown shoes. But it didn't kill them. And it was nice because then you knew what they were going to wear each day. You didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about it. I'm wearing something cooler than you.
Right.
We all sucked.
And then even when yeah, I guess. But no, and I went to a Catholic school, so I had to wear a uniform also. I had 2 blouses, and I remember my mother would always wash and iron the one. No, I think I only had 1 blouse now that I think about it, because she would wash it every night and iron it, and I did wear it the next day. Because when I always said this, we were kind of poor when I was growing up. But back then, when you went to school, you only had to pay for a family. It didn't matter. We had 6 kids going to Catholic school. You paid 1 tuition. That was it. But we had the 1 uniform that you always got at the used sale. And so you had the 1 uniform that you wore and the 1 blouse. And we were always clean. My mother, you know, every night we would wear that. Have you ever ridden on a motorcycle?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I've ridden on Uncle Mike's, Uncle Pat's.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
And then I've rode dirt bikes.
My brother-in-law Bruce used to pick me up on his motorcycle and bring me to work. So I always rode on it. And then one
Bruce
day,
had a motorcycle?
Bruce had a motorcycle. Yeah, he had a Triumph.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he used to pick me up and drive me to school. Mike had one. Pat had one too. I've been on the. Mike has a Harley.
Mike
I've never
has
been
a
on
Harley now, but back in the day they had Yamahas.
Yamahas. Yeah, he had a Yamaha. And Bruce was trying to teach me how to ride the motorcycle, and I sat in the front, and he sat behind me, and then he was controlling the gears. I was never so scared in my life. Seeing how road, and I thought, no, I'll just ride in the back with my helmet. And the last question is, how many days do you think you could last without the internet?
Ooh.
I don't know about that one. You know, because I use the internet for more than just YouTube. I look up things on the internet.
Right. Mine's mostly YouTube. I would say
my
if
Weight
I
Watchers
had to,
app,
if
my
I
games.
had to, I think I could go a week.
Well, I'm going to have to go a week unless I go into town. But I'm on
That's
vacation
true.
next week because where we're going, there's no internet.
That's true.
So I'm hoping that.
Bring a hotspot.
Yeah, but how do you get the hotspot? You got to have somebody. You got to hit into somebody else's, right?
No, you get the little. It plugs into the wall.
Oh, that
It
costs
picks it
money.
up from far away.
That'll cost money though. Somebody could buy that for me before I leave on Friday.
I could. Maybe. I gotta see. They might be sold out. I don't know.
How convenient. So anyway, thank you, Mary, over at Mary Gets Fit tagged us. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. Also a reminder, I'm tagging Joan's Pointed Plate, Valerie Reese, and Frekifitwolf.
And a girl on her phone, and Mr. Smooth.
So you got to come up with another name for Mr. Smooth.
Okay, I'll watch his.
I like Mr. Smooth, but I think he's got a better description than Mr. Smooth.
Okay, I'll have one by next week.
No, it won't be next week.
Okay, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, because I'll be gone. I'll be on vacation. Although we will have a tag next week because we got tagged in 2 videos from Mary Gets Fit.
Oh, yep.
So we've already filmed the one for next week because I'll be gone on vacation. And Jimmy's, we go through withdrawal, not seeing himself on YouTube.
Like, oh, no.
Okay, like,
Subscribe,
comment.
share.
See you tomorrow.